turn property into cash. Will Bartlam has no interest in buy-to-lets. Some people keep their money in bricks and mortar. Will puts his in metal and rubber.
It's called a Holden Special Vehicles. The model is a GTS. Fairly common car in Australia, used predominantly by police service, ambulance. I paid £20,000 nearly 4 years ago with a mileage of about 30,000. A lot of my friends at the time, they all told me that I was going to modify it, and I told them all I was not going to. The car is fine as it is.
Will resisted until one day at a rally on an airfield he met a man with a much faster car.
And I remember leaving that airfield saying, right, that does it, remortgage. And I think the very next day I was on the phone, how much for a supercharger conversion? Well, this is what the car's really all about. 5.7 litre all alloy V8 engine. The supercharger is bolted onto the side of the engine, a Vortex supercharger from Australia. It very soon went on some major modifications, and I think the supercharger conversion was about 10,000. Here, currently at about half atmospheric pressure, about 8 psi. Upgrading the brakes on this car was £7,500 at that point. The camshaft on its own is 3,000. I thought it'd be nice to have a nice entertainment system, so I've got the full 5.1 audio-visual setup. That was nearly £11,000. They can watch a movie. There's no real need for remote control, unless you want the pose factor associated with it. To be honest, I haven't probably added up all the bills, because that would probably be a little bit too much even for my blood. It will now load up much like a computer would. It's well over £50,000, but I can't quite bring myself to get a calculator and tote every single figure up.
Will has 2 children. He was hoping that by now his house would have increased in value by the £50,000 he spent on his car. So far, it hasn't.
My eldest daughter thought that I was going through a midlife crisis, let's be honest, and she could be right, she could be wrong, but she's accepted the fact that I've commuted her potential inheritance into 4 wheels and realised there's nothing she can do about it. But I think she'll forgive me.